renewable energy at NextEra, and I'd like to extend a warm welcome to everybody who's traveled to be here with us today as we celebrate the commissioning of Elora Solar. We're excited to be here and share this historic occasion with all of you. Now, please rise and join me in the national anthem of our great country, performed by the Lincoln County High School Band with colors presented by the school's ROTC.
Left, face. Color guard. Carry. Go. Ready, good. Present. Go.
That was a wonderful performance. And thank you for being here.
Order. Close. Ready, good. Left. Face. Forward. March.
Let's give another round of applause to the Lincoln High School Band and ROTC. Thank you. And thank you. Please be seated. Today we're thrilled to celebrate the completion of Tennessee's newest solar energy center and usher in the next generation of American homegrown energy that it'll produce for the state, TVA's customers, their partners at Federal Public Utilities, and Meta, as well as the economic development for the area. You know, when you begin a new project, you're never quite sure how to proceed and what bumps you may encounter along the way. And sometimes you wonder if you'll ever get to celebrate a day like today. But we could not have done it without many people's help, many of whom are here with us today. And I'd like to thank each of you for making this a successful project and one that we're happy to work with all of you on for the long term. Now, while this site officially opens today, we all know that it's been years in the making to get here. So we thank all of you. You know, Lincoln County, we'll leave that. Lincoln County is a beautiful area. Being from North Carolina originally, this reminds me a lot of my home, but most especially all the wonderful people here that we've gotten to work with. And I'd like to thank the community for giving our project team such a warm welcome. You know, this community, our members, local leaders and business owners have been wonderful to work with, and we're excited to be here. And you know, we couldn't have built this project especially without the help of our landowners. So if our landowners would like to stand up, we'd love to acknowledge you there. Thank you. All right, now I'd like to take the time to introduce our speakers here on stage with me. Here I have Stuart McCurdy, Vice President of Renewable Development at NextEra Energy Resources, Justin Meyerhoffer, TVA Regional Vice President of the North Region, Bryce Daly, Head of Energy Supply for Meta, and Britt Dye, CEO and General Manager of Federal Public Utilities. I'd also like to welcome all the local leaders from the state and from Lincoln County who are here with us today. All right, and also a special thanks to our Elora construction team and the marketing and communication teams from all the companies that helped us get set up here today in this wonderful tent. Thank you, everybody. All right, so we have a great program for you, so we'll get started. Our first speaker has helped NextEra Energy become the world's leading generator of energy from the wind and the sun and a leader in battery energy storage systems. Please welcome Vice President of Renewable Development at NextEra Energy Resources, Stuart McCurdy.
Good morning. Thank you, Heath. Look, I really appreciate being here today. You're going to hear it from all the speakers. Thanks to the community. Thanks to the landowners. Thanks to TVA. Thanks to Meta. Thanks to Fayetteville Public Utilities. The reality is these projects do not happen without the teamwork and the support of all of those parties involved. The IDB, these things are years in the making. And truly do take a team effort to bring them to fruition, not just through the demand of putting them in place. But, I remember this is one of the projects that I remember the early days headed out and talking to Mr. Savali about the land. And our landowners are truly visionary when somebody like me shows up at their doorstep and pitches them an idea like this. It's relatively new in the area at the time we were talking about it. And they can recognize the value not just for themselves and what they're doing, what their family's doing, but for the community. And they trusted us with their land, and they trusted us to move this through the process and get it done. And certainly partners like TVA and Meta and Fayetteville Public Utilities working through the nuts and bolts of how you take a project from an idea, move it forward so that ultimately it can meet the needs of TVA and really address the forethought and the push that Meta is bringing to the energy space and how they're able to do that in the Valley. So, I just like to say thank you to everyone. You'll hear it from me again, but that makes me the least important person on the stage because everybody else brought this to fruition, more so than I did. But the company is super excited to be in Tennessee. We're super excited to be in the Valley, and we're super excited to be in Lincoln County. And certainly completing this project is a big accomplishment for everybody here today. So this really is a group celebration. For 2 decades now, our company has developed solar projects across North America. And it's really taken advantage of what renewables has been able to do throughout the country. And this is just the next iteration of that, bringing this to completion, and it's going to, for decades to come, bring economic value to the community and support TVA and Meta's goals and what they're trying to accomplish. Today we're celebrating the commissioning of this Elora Solar project. It's 150 megawatts. I work on a lot of projects across the country, and I will say bringing a 150 megawatt project situated, looking as small as it does as far as what's out there in the field, is pretty impressive. And so it took everybody to do that. If you hadn't seen the signs in the back, this project is 500,000 solar panels, right? These panels are just the next iteration of modules that are deployed that have been in people's houses across, but when you look up at somebody's house, see a dozen of these things and think that looks impressive. There's 500,000 of these out in the field today. So that takes a decent amount of time to build, and we're able to source a lot of the construction efforts through our contractors locally, which brought extra value to the community in doing so. But that's pretty impressive in what it can do. And as you heard Heath mention, that this makes this one of the largest in the state, one of the largest in the Valley as well. Look, we really appreciate the long-standing relationship we've had as a company, not just in renewables, but as a company with TVA and some of the personal relationships that we've built over the years there that allow us to do these things. I mentioned that the construction of this, we pride ourselves on the project during operations being low maintenance, low impact on the community, bringing good tax dollars to the community, which is a great partnership. But we're able to give a little extra oomph during construction, and we're created approximately 250 jobs during that construction cycle. So a really great little boost during construction, and then we settle into just amazing economic benefit to the community while we pay the tax dollars and provide the energy. So look, this is one that the community can be proud of. I'm very excited to be here today from Florida, representing the company. and with our partners that you see here on stage and everybody in the audience today. So I just wanted to express my sincere gratitude to everybody. We're happy this thing's online. Hopefully, we'll continue to have a great partnership with the community during the operation of the plant, and we'll look for additional future opportunities to bring economic development this community and across the valley. So thanks again. Thank you, TVA. Thank you, Meta. Thank you, Fayetteville Public Utilities. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Stuart. All right, our second speaker has spent nearly 2 decades building strong connections between TVA and its partners in local, state, and federal government. He served in several key leadership roles, including Vice President of Federal Affairs and as the CEO's Chief of Staff. In his role today, Justin leads integrated engagement strategies with local power companies, directly serve customers, state and local government officials, and community groups. And we're happy to have him here to celebrate with us today. Please join me in welcoming TVA's Regional Vice President of the North Region, Justin Meyerhoffer.
Thank you, Heath, and thank you, Stuart, and Bryce, good to see you. And it's always great to see our customer, Britt, it's always good to see you. TVA has one source of revenue, and that's through our customers, so we're delighted to see you here today, Britt. At TVA, our mission is to serve, to make life better for the people that live, work, and raise their families here in the Tennessee Valley through low-cost, reliable energy, economic development, and environmental stewardship. Or if you see some of the TVA employees mixing and mingling today, they would say that our job is to keep the lights glowing, the river flowing, and the valley growing. Okay? So today we're going to hit on all 3 of those E's. Energy. TVA has partnered with our friends at NextEra Energy Resources to build this 150 megawatt solar installation, which will support Meta's regional data centers with 100% renewable energy. With more than 600,000 solar panels, this is TVA's first utility scale green invest solar project in the state of Tennessee. Environment. We care about the environment, and TVA aspires to be net zero carbon by 2050. Solar is pivotal to a cleaner energy future. The projected emissions reduction in just this installation, y'all, it is the equivalent to removing more than 60,000 traditional cars from the road each year. This project creates 0 air emissions, it uses no water to generate electricity, and it delivers safe, low-cost, clean, renewable energy. Economic development. Through our Green Invest program, we've attracted top-tier companies like Meta and enabled the growth of affordable solar. So far, we've contracted more than 2,000 megawatts of utility-scale solar with partners like NextEra. We've generated nearly $3 billion, that's with a B, in solar investments in TVA service territory. And right here in Lincoln County, this installation is making a local impact in this community. And as Stuart said, it created 250 construction jobs. It's going to generate $3 million in additional tax revenue. So I'd like to thank our partners, and I look forward to our strong partnerships as we make life better by investing in our communities with clean, renewable energy. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Justin. All right, our next speaker is Head of Energy Supply for Meta. Now, when you go and post a Facebook picture of today's event, you'll have him to thank for knowing that all the energy here, this clean renewable energy, is going to support that data center. Joining Meta in 2017, he works closely with utilities and developers on interconnection agreements, tariff structures, renewable energy contracts to support Meta's fleet of data centers. Please join me in welcoming the Head of Energy Supply for Meta, Bryce Daly.
Thank you, Heath, for that introduction, and good morning. I'm Bryce Dowley, Head of Energy Supply for Meta, and we are so proud to be here to mark this important milestone. I want to thank Justin Meyerhoffer and the rest of the TVA team for the great collaboration. I've had the pleasure of working with the TVA team since 2018, and it's fun to see some familiar faces from those first interactions that I had back in 18. I want to thank Stuart McCurdy and the NextEra Energy Resources team. We recognize and appreciate your renewable energy leadership, commitment, and experience. So thank you. I'd also like to thank Britt Dye and the team from Fayetteville Public Utilities for joining us here today to celebrate. At Meta, we are committed to minimizing our environmental impact, and that is why we are focused on designing, building, and operating some of the most efficient data centers in the world. Since 2020, our global operations have been supported by 100% wind and solar energy. Strong partnerships like the ones we have with TVA and NextEra are what allow us to continue to meet our ambitious sustainability goals. Through TVA's Green Invest program, we are bringing over 850 megawatts of new solar energy to the grid in support of our regional operations. We are proud to be one of the pioneer companies to create that program and see other companies follow in our footsteps. And together with NextEra, we have partnered on 640 megawatts of renewable energy projects throughout the United States, including the Elora Solar Energy Center. Here in Tennessee, we are building a 1 million square foot data center in Gallatin. And not too far from here, we are building a 2.5 million square foot data center in Huntsville. We are committed to investing in local communities, so we are happy to see this project bring jobs and revenue right here to Lincoln County. So again, thank you for being here. Thank you for your support of renewable energy, and thank you for your partnership. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Bryce. Our last, certainly not least speaker, is a native of Lincoln County. Not only that, he's a 45-year veteran of the company that he now leads. He played a vital role in federal public utilities, becoming the first electric utility in Tennessee to offer high-speed internet, having designed, built, and maintained the system. After rising through the ranks, he became Federal Public Utilities CEO and General Manager in 2006, a position which he continues today. Please join me in welcoming Federal Public Utilities CEO and General Manager Britt Dye.
Thank you, Heath. Fayetteville Public Utilities decided to be a great part of this collaboration. We began our partnership with TVA over 35 years ago. 1935 for 83 years, 85 years. So it's a great partnership for NextEra, Meta, and us. We look forward to partnering with Elora Solar Energy Center, NextEra Energy Resources, and Meta for many years. Lincoln County, as well as the entire Tennessee Valley, will benefit from this project. TVA's Green Invest program supports projects like this one, which cares for the environment, promotes economic growth for the community, and for the ones that live here. This is yet another example of the benefits of the public power model which the LPCs and TVA offers and demonstrates. Renewable energy isn't for the future. Companies and communities are receiving benefits now. This project will be an inspiration for all other businesses and communities looking to explore possibilities for renewable energy. And the last thing I'd like to say, thank you all for being here, being part of it, and we do appreciate the power contract. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Britt. All right, before we flip the switch, we have one final presentation that we'd like to make. You know, while we've been in this community a number of years, we wanted to give back to a place that's welcomed us so kindly. I'd like to invite onto the stage with us Commander Jack Buck from the Veterans of Foreign Wars. As many of you are aware, I'm sure, Veteran of Foreign Wars, come on up. is a nonprofit veteran service organization made up of eligible veterans and service members from active guard and reserve forces, and they provide a great service to our veterans in this area, as well as their families in the community. And it's our honor today to make this $5,000 donation in support of the good work they do to make sure that those who have served our country know that they are cared for by all Americans, but especially by this community. All right, now it's the moment we've all been waiting for. I'd like to invite all our today's speakers to gather around the ceremonial switch and for our crowd to turn its attention. Check the wires running to that thing now. Yeah. All right, it's time to officially open and flip the switch on the Elora Energy Solar Center.
All right, one more time.
Great job. All right, thank you, everyone. That concludes this part of the ceremony, but please join us for refreshments and feel free to mingle among everyone. Thank you.